You know, trust is built through consistency. So as I've watched Baker Mayfield all year long take shot after shot, both on and off the field, what I've loved the most is that he hasn't allowed any of that to change who he is. Developing consistency as a team requires consistency from your leaders. And off the field, the Browns have no doubt they can trust their quarterback. But if Baker is to become the Cleveland long-awaited franchise quarterback, he's going to have to prove on the field that he can be trusted equally as much as off the field. All right, Baker, you've been beat up a little bit this year, so I know the bye week came at a welcome time. How's the body? How much better is it after a week off?
I mean, night and day compared to where I was heading into last week, which is great for me. And if your lower body's not able to move around, and especially with me, my violent throwing motion, how I plant, how I torque, I need my feet to feel good, and I'm in a much better place right now.
Touchdown! A beautiful play!
One thing that we used to do in the bye week is we always used to self-scout ourselves. Tell me what you need to do, what your goals are these last 5 weeks of the season.
Hone in on the little details for us as an offense, play my position at the highest possible level I can, and distribute the ball and be the leader I know I am.
Touchdown, Baker Mayfield!
So for me, that's doing my job at a high level 1 week at a time and pushing these guys to do the same.
I need each and every one of you. Give me everything you got today. I need it all. Let's go. Win on three. 1, 2, 3.
For some reason, Baker Mayfield seems to be a lightning rod for criticism. In the age that you play in, you can't not hear the stuff that goes on. So how do you deal with it?
It comes down to trying to find an even balance of listening to those opinions around you that truly matter, friends, family, teammates. And that's been the tricky part about this year, has been a lot of internal things. It hasn't been just outside noise. I have to be myself and try and do my job at 100%. The guys that truly know me understand that. We need to take care of business in the building, and I need to be myself for these guys.
The Browns lose and drop to 6-6. The bye week is next, and then the Ravens the week after in Cleveland.
All right, scheduling quirk. How do you go into game planning playing back-to-back games against the same team and a division rival?
It's definitely different, you know. Watching that film of when you played them the first time, what went wrong, what went well, capitalizing on that, but just knowing that the most important thing is about doing your job. The Ravens are a type of team that they're going to do what they do no matter who's out there for them, so we have to be able to do the same thing.
Lamar and yourself in the same draft class. You have to play each other twice a year. Is there a healthy competition between the two of you?
Oh, absolutely. You know, he's gotten me a fair share of times. He definitely can do a lot more things than I am capable of doing physically. You know, he holds onto the ball, which to me, I have to get it out because I can't run around like he does. So you just kind of have to take a step back and just tip your cap.
He's going to heave it down the field towards the goal line. Peoples-Jones goes up, and he got it!
Tell me, what does Cleveland need to do down the stretch to make a run at the playoffs?
What we need to do overall is be much better in critical situations, whether it's third down, red zone, and then playing complementary football more consistently.
Back 5, he's going in! Touchdown!
You know, we played maybe one complete football game as an offense, defense, and special teams, and so we need to put all that together. We're in a situation where if we take care of business, we'll be happy with where we're at, but it's 1 week at a time, and we got a bunch of fighters on this team that I truly appreciate.
All right, after that excellent sit down, Kurt, I'm now going to put you on the spot with the, I guess, 9-figure, $100 million question. Is this the guy to be franchised and be the franchise face?
Well, Rich, I said it in my lead, is that I believe they love him as a leader, that what he brings to the table, his consistency in that regard, who he's going to be, the way he battles. We've seen it this year. Through all these injuries, he's showing up. He's there every day, and he's battling with his team. The question really becomes, he's got to show more consistency on the football field. We've seen moments. His rookie year, I mean, you remember the first Thursday night, and he comes out of this thing and shows what he's capable of, but we've just been on a roller coaster ride with him from that standpoint. So pick up that 5th-year option, give him 1 more year, but I believe he's got to show more consistency because what we know is you don't slot quarterbacks anymore, Rich, right? It's not like, okay, you're not there, you're number 11, we'll pay you this much. When he becomes free, he's going to have to get one of those huge deals, and that'll become the question, is he championship-type material at the quarterback position?
Well, the Bengals have already swept the Ravens, swept the Steelers, and they've already beaten the Ravens once. Yep. The Browns have lost to the Ravens once. We have yet to see what's going to happen when they take the Bengals again, they could sweep the Bengals and maybe sweep out and actually win the division. They're currently 6-6. So there's a lot of ifs and buts when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.